tell me about Pequel. Just explain what it is.
Yeah, sure thing. I guess to kick off, it all began when we were in our fourth year master's year at Bristol University in the UK. We were tasked a brief which was called Solve a Real World Problem. And what me and Hazel, my co-founder, thought through was a problem that affected us directly. So we were wasting loads of time standing in toilet queues at festivals where in our summers we'd have to choose between going to the loo or getting food. The queues for the women were just way too long. And so we were like, hey, let's tackle this problem, something that directly frustrates me. It's something that not just I see, but everybody sees. So it is an obvious problem that hasn't got an obvious solution for yet. That's where it began. And then we did lots and lots of research, primary, secondary. We spoke to loads of women with lots of user-centered design. And then that led to a lot of prototyping, and it led us to loads of just filling out our assumptions. So we assumed this about women, but then we proved differently. So then our design changed. So it's been a constant evolution of design tweaks and raising investment, and then that directing us in certain ways. So yeah, I guess right now we're at this place where we've had our first successful summer. So that has been really great. In the UK, we've done 6 events, including like Glastonbury and Shambhala, that big names, and had amazing feedback. So women absolutely loved it. People have come out of the urinals saying, this is a game changer. This is liberating. Those are the most common words used. So it's pretty amazing to hear that we're actually making a difference. And even better, next year, our customers want more. So yeah.
Very cool. So explain how it works.
Yeah, so it's no funnels are involved. It's like a squat toilet, but it's adapted to be way more comfier and more hygienic, less splashback, things like that. So you have a designated space where you can just pop a squat, really simple, and have a wee, just like you would if you were going on a wild nature walk and you just needed the toilet, you just pop a squat. So it's nothing like magical about it. It's just as we normally would go, but without the real difficulty of either the toilet not being designed for you, it being really dirty, you have to touch multiple things to get into the toilet. So yeah, it's just way quicker.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain just about what makes it way quicker? Is it because you're able to have more, toilet, not even toilets, just more room for women to go? Just how do you cut down on that line that we just all, as women, know and absolutely hate?
Yeah, a good question. So we work on removing those micro time wasters. So things like you're opening and closing the door, that's like, either you're not going straight in, you're not touching a thing, so you're tentatively doing that. And also that few seconds increases the time that you're in there. So you open and close the door, lock the door, that's multiple touch points. And then you're faced with whatever you have pulled the short straw, long straw, and you have to either clean the surface that you're about to sit on or just think about how I'm going to actually go to the toilet in this situation. So there's a lot of like prepping or putting toilet paper down or cleaning, which takes a lot of time. And then also when you're in like an enclosed environment, you tend to naturally slow down, your body relaxes a bit, you're not having to wait, you're now in that cubicle. So you may check your phone, you may reply to a call, something like that. Other people may do other things in festival toilets as well. So there's a whole other area there which makes things a lot slower. So with our product, we don't have a lockable door, but we do have an overlapping screen, which means that you're completely private, but you don't have to open and close any doors. And no one will walk in because we have a light sensor that goes red when you're in there and green when it's available. So there's that communication there. It's a squat toilet, so when you squat, you don't have to touch anything, you don't have to clean anything, you don't have to do anything, you just have to pop a squat, wee, and then you're in and out. It's also a little bit semi-private, so you're completely private when you squat, but when you stand up, you can probably be seen from your waist upwards, which means that you're incentivized to get in and out really quickly, and that speeds up the queues too. But just having an added facility at an event where there's loads of people will always add masses of time on, just because men have urinals and toilets. We just have toilets. So obviously there's that lack of quality there.
So from an operational perspective, explain kind of the setup and then tear down process when, events are using this.
Yeah, good question. So they arrive in lorries. They're flat pack. So it means that we can stack them and transport, fit loads more in a lorry and cut our emissions down. And you get a forklift and you just fork them off. You arrange the base tanks, which are in wedge-like shapes in that space. And then we have stillages, which the walls are in. And the walls are one-person lift, kind of like Lego. And so you just slot the walls into the base tanks. And it takes about 1 minute 30 to set up with 2 people. So you can set up a lot in one day. So it's very quick, plug and play type thing. And then set down, we would clean it with a power washer, and then just the opposite. So take the walls off, stack those walls in the stillages, and then stack the base tanks up in a lorry. So we have usually about 1 day set down, 2 days set up.
Okay. How big is the holding tank?
It is, I think it's around 700 litres. So it's massive compared to portable toilets. Any other facility that I've heard of. It's the big blue tank underneath. So we directly down into it. So there's not a tank held off-site or anything. It is within that wedge.
Mm-hmm. And then what happens at the end of the event? How do you clean out that tank? What's the process there? And where does it? With the festival has to contractually have a waste removal team. So the waste removal team will come collect the urine from the tanks like they do at portable toilets, compostable toilets, and it'll be sucked out. And that will happen either daily or more regularly than that, like twice a day. And then at the end of an event, they would come around a final time before we would then stack them into transport. So they'd be empty when we transport them. Okay. So the festival wouldn't have to have any sort of additional team for clean out for the Pequel. It would just be the same waste removal team that would cover all of the facilities.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it would cover all of the facilities. Pequel, like our company, will provide either cleaning staff or volunteers inside our sort of offer. They'll be constantly cleaning throughout the festival, making sure it's hygienic. That last sort of the logistics of sucking out the urine, then we have a waste removal external team for that.
Tell me, you touched on it a little bit, but what's the response that you've been getting from women at the festivals that you've used the Pequel at?
It's been amazing. So women have just responded much better than we anticipated. Just absolutely loving it. As soon as you've gone once, you know exactly what to do next time. So, we see friends bringing their friends in and telling them how to use it. So it's like news are traveling fast. And each time a woman comes out the urinal, it's always met with praise of some sort. The efficiency and the convenience means that women can just enjoy the event so much more and feel valued and seen. And all they're saying to us is we just want more everywhere. So that's the best feedback you can get on our launch.
Yeah. What about the US market? Is that something that you guys are eyeing? Do you think that there's a market here? I mean, we obviously have quite a few festivals and other events over here as well.
Yes, definitely. We're really, really interested in growing and scaling up and going international. What our business plan is next year, so 2023, we're going to sort of stay in the UK, sort of establish this market and our service, but have conversations with customers for 2024. And we're actually already having those conversations. The US has already shown a massive interest in Pequel right from the start when we were in uni. So there's definitely been a drive towards coming to the US, but also other countries too, such as Australia, for example. We might spend the UK summer in the UK, the summer in the UK and then follow the sun to Australia. So we have that sort of all year round festival market to supply to. But yeah, we're very keen to supply to big events like Burning Man, for example, things like that, that would just be a great way of elevating our brand and supplying to more women. Mm-hmm. So definitely interested in, down the line, more franchises is in the business plan, yeah.
Are there any people that it's not suitable for? People with, say, any sort of handicaps, or are children able to use it on their own, or do they need kind of a little assistance? Like, is there any special considerations for certain people?
So children can use it. Yeah, we just advise parents go in with them. And we recognize that it isn't disabled friendly. So there aren't ramps or anything like that. We wanted to focus on one problem, one at a time. We do recognize that's a big problem. That is something that needs to be catered for, but we want to reach that problem after we've solved this one. So it's working our way through the things, and hopefully at this point in time, the efficiency of the queues for the women with the equal urinals means it frees up the queues at the other facilities. So hopefully that will actually free up their lines as well. So that's the sort of consideration we have. So yeah, really acknowledge that those things are really important. That if we try to solve every problem all at once, we wouldn't end up doing anything. So we have to stay focused on our first problem.
What's the response been from the service providers? Have you spoken with some of the service providers about how user-friendly it is on their end of things?
And the service providers?
Meaning the wastewater plant.
Sorry, who are you talking about?
Suck it out.
Oh, right, the logistics teams, things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so they love it. So it's just as simple as what they're used to. So it's something that they don't really have to adapt new techniques to involve. So it's quite a seamless transition. Yeah, they don't actually have to suck it out as often because obviously it's such a large holding tank. They don't have to be as on it, constantly checking throughout the event. So in that way, it does benefit them a lot.
Mm-hmm. Down the road, do you see this as being some permanent peak walls various places, or do you always see it as something that is kind of more just set up for festivals and various things, or is there a permanent place for some?
Yeah, so right now it is temporary, but in the future and years to come, we definitely are looking to adapt the design to be suitable for fixed sites. So that would be in airports, shopping centres, schools, anywhere where there are toilets. We want to also have women facilities for just urinals as well. So yeah, we're definitely looking down the road for fixed sites. And also we really want to have a product that helps in sort of natural disaster sites or refugee camps, things like that, because a lot of the design specification is like modular, really quick to set up, set down. It's an extra sanitation facility. So if we can provide that, if it's relevant, we really like to go down that route in years to come.
Mm-hmm. You touched on it a little bit, but tell me a little bit more about the sustainability aspect and how, not only are you working to solve this problem for women, you're also were thinking environmentally at the same time.
That's right. Yeah. So being environmental and thinking sustainability. Sorry, it's the end of the day here. Thinking sustainably is a big value of ours. So yeah, we are looking at material such as sea plastics that is like plastic waste that you take out of the oceans and you extrude the plastic from, and then you repurpose it in our products. So our products are made of sea plastic, but also biopolymer from like sugarcane, things like that. So we're looking at repurposing waste products to make that sort of circular product that we can then grind down in the future to rebuild more. So that's really important to us, and we're constantly looking to improve that as we grow up as a business. But yeah, we wanted to make sure from day one that we sort of have that in the heart of our decision making.
Well, I think those are all of my questions, unless there's anything else that you think we didn't touch on that you would like to add, you'd like women to know, or?
I think it's just sort of relating to each woman that has had to stand in a queue whilst watching men whiz in and out of the urinals. I think it's a worldwide problem that everyone can relate to, and it's so personal. So I feel like it's such an easy thing to get behind and support, and we appreciate everyone that is doing that, and we just want to spread the word even more. So yeah, just get the word out there, reach out to us. Let us know if you have any network or contacts that we could pull upon to get to the US or to get to other countries. It would be wonderful to grow as quickly as we can.
This was fascinating, and I really hope it makes it to the US, because there's nothing worse than waiting in a line.
Right, exactly, yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jackie.